23 minutes of just fucking pain. That's what this episode was. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, a number of things. They bring back something that was mentioned in episode fucking 1 at the beginning of the series. So many things happen. Oh my god. This was a season finale. This was a season finale to trump all season finales. This was absolutely the most insane thing I have ever seen. I figured from the beginning that the way the intro, whenever the beginning intro happened, that something would happen to Team Rwby. I didn't think it was going to be this! And now I gotta wait like, I don't know how long for Volume 4. This is absolutely... Oh... So I need to talk about something. I need to talk about something first. It shows up... One of my friends, he also watches Rwby, and I sometimes bounce ideas off of him. A long time ago, I pitched the idea of there would be a Alpha Grim, a Prime Grim, something that spawns other Grim that was like the original Grim. And I was right. But I didn't put it in video back then, so I can't really say I called that shit. But somewhere around the time when the World of Remnant episode, when they said the Grim could learn, there was, just wait to the end. We get to see Osmond fight. I was right. We got to see Osmond fight a little bit. And he's really strong. Like, unbelievably strong. Like, he was holding his own against Cinder. And then Cinder just said, fuck it, I'm out. I don't think we'll wait for that. Another thing. So the things that I mentioned in this episode, we get mention about the Rwby Silver Eyes. We get an update on... We get an update on where Weiss is, where Blake is. And everyone's sort of going their own separate ways now. Oh, man. This is some great... Just... I don't know where it goes from here. I mean, they're gonna go to Haven, but fucking A. Rooster Teeth, you've outdone yourself. You've outdone yourself with this. Shit is hitting the fan. I will say that. Shit is hitting the fan, and he can hit hard, like about 100 miles an hour hard. Like I'm talking asteroid to the face hard. It's just... Oh. I'm sorry, I'm just so sorry. It's just... This volume has been incredibly dark. It started out sort of like, hey, we're doing a festival, and then it just went dark. Like I'm talking Game of Thrones dark. Fucking everybody fucking dying. Dying. That's basically what this episode is. People die! Well, one person dies. I think the other one is still alive. God, I almost cried. Okay. Review of the episode. Animation was great. Lots of shockers. Lots of shockers. However, I'm now going to have to go into the spoiler territory, so looking at my timer, around the 5-minute 15 mark. This is right past here, this is spoiler territory. Here's where we go into this. Okay. You see Ozpin and Cinder fight. Ozpin's pulling a lot of magic stuff, a lot of stuff, and he's able to really fight Cinder one-on-one. Cinder then goes up the tower and is trying to make the school that Grimm's home. Whatever. Pyrrha sees Cinder, hears Cinder go up. And he says, I have to stop her. And John's like, no, are you crazy? You saw how strong she is. If she's able to beat Ozpin, you don't have a chance. But she has to. Pyrrha has to. She can't just let this go. She can't just walk away from this. She kisses John, and I go, finally! Should have known right from there that things are going to go bad. Should have known right from there. Stuffs him into a pod, goes to get Glinda and everyone else. Pyrrha then uses polarity to shoot an elevator all the way to the top, fights Cinder. While this is going on, Rwby and Weiss are trying to find John. John calls Weiss's phone, and says, you gotta save Pyrrha, she's at the top of the tower. And he's just getting mad because he wasn't able to stop her, he wasn't able to help her. I think this is going to be a defining moment for Jean. I think now he is on the major path of finally finding his semblance. Goes up to the tower. This is Pyrrha. Pyrrha goes up to the tower, fights Cinder. It's a really awesome fight. Good lord, isn't it an awesome fight? They're fighting. She's using her polarity to like maximum effect, putting like gears and swords and build and just like all this stuff. She seems like she has the upper hand, but then Cinder melts her sword because they have the sword up to the throat. She looks at the Grimm. The giant Grimm is flying, coming right at her. She breaks the sword. Grimm crashes into the tower, breaks everything. Cinder's sword and the Pyrrha's sword is completely broken. And then at this time, Weiss and Rwby are trying to figure out to get up to the tower. Ruby's trying to get up to the tower to help Pyrrha. Then they're still fighting. She's throwing a shield around, throwing gears. Cinder Cinder then hits her hard with gears. Her aura is then low. It's like in the red zone. She then tries to throw her shields. Cinder shoots an arrow. It breaks up around the shield like this. Like here's the shield, here's the arrow. It goes around and then reforms on the other side. Goes in, hits her right in the Achilles tendon. Bit on the nose, if I have to say it myself, based on her design. You know, anyone who knows anything about Greek mythology knows where her inspiration comes from. Hits it right in the Achilles tendon. She's now can't move. And then Cinder's like, you fought well, but promised a power that wasn't yours, yada yada yada. I'm not going to spoil I'm not going to say exactly what she said because I want people to go and see the episode. You need to go see this episode. You need to go see this episode right fucking now. Right now. Right now. She then pulls back, forms an arrow, right when Rwby gets up there. Lets it go. Right in the chest. Pyrrha then dissolves. Pyrrha Nikos. One of my favorite characters. One of a fan favorite, really. Dies. She is now dead. There is no body. She's just dust. They pulled the Game of Thrones on us! They pulled the rug right out from under our feet and said, hey, you like this character? Guess what? She's dead! I was so mad! And so was Rwby. Rwby sees this. Rwby sees Pyrrha get dissolved and just scattered to the wind. All that's left is a crown that she wears. And then she just freaks out. and then glowing white wings come out of her eyes. Turns the giant flying Grim that was there, to stone. It is frozen. It has now been turned to stone. I don't know what the fuck happened to Cinder, but Cinder looks really confused. They then wake up. Vale is completely trashed at this point. The school is constantly being Grim are being constantly drawn to the giant Grim, frozen Grim that's on top. But it's technically not a threat anymore because it's just frozen on top of the tower. I don't know where Cinder is. They couldn't find her. I assume she's not dead. Like I said, unless you see the body or you see the body disappear, they're not dead. That's my rule. And then they go into details about what the silver eyes mean. The silver eyes is basically a legend that warriors who are born with silver eyes are destined to become great warriors. It is said, and it's said that the Grim fear these silver-eyed warriors more than anything. And it's said that even a look can slay Grim. And that's basically what Rwby, but she wasn't prepared, she wasn't ready for that power, which is why he knocked her out. It was similar to whenever, if any of you have watched One Piece, I'm going to draw some, whenever Luffy used his Conqueror's Haki, it drained him and he had no control over it. Same thing with Rwby's glowing eye angel wing thing. That's the only way I can describe this. Blake has gone off. Weiss's father has come to take her back to Atlas. You know, understandable. His father, he wants her daughter to be protected. The world is being enveloped by fear. And Rwby wants answers. And the only way they're going to find that is Haven. Because that's apparently where Cinder said she hailed from. Whether or not she was lying or not, I don't know. But they're going to go to Haven. They're going to try and find some shit out. Well, I say they. I was like, what do you mean? Well, Weiss is back at home. Blake is on the run. I imagine that what she's going to try and do is she's going to try and find Adam. Yang is still in bed, just completely distraught. I think she's going to go try and find her mother at this point. You have Rwby, Jean, Ren, and Nora heading off to Haven. At the end of the episode. Near the end of the episode. And it sort of leaves off from there after she pays a visit to her mother's grave. This episode was it was draining. That's honestly a good word for it. It was draining. I was satisfied. I was heartbroken though. You know, all the emotions are here. I was sad, I was happy, I was mortified, I was overjoyed, the whole gambit of emotions are run through this episode. I feel so bad. You know? For Penny, for Pyrrha, this was a season that really stepped notch a notch, that said, hey, you know, this light comedy thing, that's over now. That's over. There's gonna be some comedy, but we're going into some dark territory here. And we're not gonna pull any punches. I feel so sorry for Jean. And Pyrrha, she tried her best. I honestly thought when Cinder struck her Achilles tendon with the arrow that she was gonna let her live. I didn't think Cinder was actually going to kill Pyrrha. it's such I haven't gotten this angry since the finale of Game of Thrones. The most recent finale of Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, I was able to control myself not to throw anything at a window. I almost did that. Just the amount of loss that there was in this episode, the amount of just pain that people went through is just, it's so mortifying almost. So yeah, that's the way that whole fucking piece of shit ended. So we don't really know what's going to happen from here. We can assume that Ospen is going to try working, behind the scenes in the shadows. I don't think he's dead. He's just missing. Crow's going to try and pick up where Ospen left off, because Ospen let him know exactly what his plans were, what he was trying to do. And he's going to be watching over Rwby, definitely. Right now, Rwby is our best hope. I honestly believe that Rwby is our best hope. And I think that's where they were going with this. So, recap here. Yang lost an arm. Traumatized by that. I think he's going to try and find her mother and try to become stronger. Blake is going. I think Blake is also going to go. I think this is just going to be a giant training montage for everyone, while Rwby, Jean, Ren, and Nora are going to go off to Haven and try and get some answers there. Try and hunt down who knows Cinder, who she was working with. Do I think Cinder is dead? That's something that just popped in my mind. I don't know. She was definitely surprised when they didn't find her body. But the amount of power that was released to freeze a Grimm of that size and that power, she didn't leave unscathed. She has to be really wounded, really injured. But at this point, it's turning into this. No one's safe anymore. This is turning into Rooster Teeth's version of Game of Thrones. I keep drawing parallels to that, but it's true. Now with Penny, with Penny, as tragic as that was, we didn't think Penny was going to die. We didn't think Pierre was going to die. Guess what? They're both fucking dead. But it's such a monumental thing to have that happen. And honestly, you go like, where do we go from here? What do we do? But they are honoring Monty's memory. They are honoring his memory, and they are honoring the show in a way that I cannot even fathom. Give all your love and support to Rooster Teeth, because they deserve every bit of it. I can imagine they're going to get a lot of flack for this episode. They're not going to get it from me. I'm not upset. I'm upset about what happened. I'm not upset that they did it. This was one hell of a roller coaster, though. Gambit of emotions. And pretty much everything else. The one thing I will say going forward, I wish If anything, I'd want Pyrrha to be back. You know, she tried so hard to win John over, and she finally did. I can imagine a little fan art of just like little Jean and Pyrrha babies running around, moving things with their minds. And be like, I'm gonna be a warrior! No, it's just... I can't wait for the fan art of that. So... Cinder better fucking die. Cinder better fucking die for what she did. If I could, I'd kill her myself. And that's a fact. But all our hopes rest on Rwby. Maybe Jean will step up. I definitely think he has a very important part to play. Maybe as a guardian, maybe as something else. Maybe as an inheritor of an even greater power, who knows? But it's the memory of Pyrrha that'll keep him going. And it's the memory of Pyrrha that will keep him strong. This was one hell of an episode. This one hell of a season. I'm gonna let you guys know. I've recently got a hold of some updates, some editing software. So after this video goes, I'm gonna see what I can do about making some discussion videos. Some videos I have ideas for. I'm going to be discussing Cinder and Ozpin. Though probably not, because looking at this episode, my theory might be wrong. One thing I'm also going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking the possibility of Jean's semblance. I'm going to be talking about some things I expect in Volume 4. Will Team Rwby get back together? Will it won't? I don't know. Also making a video about that. There are multiple videos I'm planning on making about Rwby, about the mythos, about the legends down the pipeline. It might be a while before those come out, though. But it's definitely I'm going to try and make some videos of just some discussion videos and try and fill that void while we wait for Volume 4. But until then, go watch it. Go see it. Become a sponsor. Give them all the love and support that you can. And until Volume 4, guys, catch you later.